Marvel Rivals Season 3 dropped with two big themes, the Phoenix Force and Symbiotes. And while half the player base was distracted by Luna Snow in a bathing suit, the rest of us noticed something else. These skins aren't just cool, they're pulling from actual Marvel comics. Some are deep cuts, some are direct recreations, and the others, they're just stylish references. So here's your full breakdown of every symbiote skin in Marvel Rivals so far, and what they actually connect to. Comic lore, character history, or just the art team having way too much fun. Let's dig into it. Spider-Man's black suit originated in Secret Wars from 1984, where Peter Parker found what he thought was just a cool alien costume. And spoiler, it wasn't. It was alive, it was needy, and it eventually ditched him for Eddie Brock. Now, for all my nerds out there, technically speaking, readers first saw the suit in Amazing Spider-Man number 252. But Secret Wars is where the suit's story actually begins. That single story kicked off everything. Venom, Carnage, Sleeper, the Clintar species, the entire Goo dynasty. And Marvel Rivals doesn't mess with the formula. His skin is classic, clean, and instantly recognizable. No reinterpretation, no winged upgrades, no weird texture overlays. This is just the black suit done right. The original symbiote look. And honestly, the least controversial skin on this list. And that's rare. Captain America's symbiote skin in Marvel Rivals is directly inspired by Edge of Venomverse issue 1. He only shows up in the final panel, but it's a banger. A full symbiote bonded Cap stepping out of the shadows to recruit X-23 with the line, "We have a war to win." The in-game skin clearly pulls from that visual. Grim, armored, fully infected. The devs took some liberties, of course. Spikes on the head, shoulders, and elbows, because if Rivals has a motto, it's just add spikes. The chest pattern is more stylized. They added sleek blue accents, and even the classic A on his helmet got reworked into a sharper, more tactical look. And honestly, I think it's better this way. It's not a one-to-one copy, and it doesn't need to be. It captures the tone, it sells the idea, and it might just be Cap's best skin in game. I own it, I'm biased, I don't care. This is one of the few times Marvel Rivals pulls from a direct 2-issue comic arc. Guardians of the Galaxy issue 21 and 22. But like most skins in the game, it's more inspired by than a strict copy. In issue number 21, the Venom symbiote escapes containment aboard the Guardian ship and immediately possesses Groot. There's no buildup, no hesitation. 1 second he's quiet and leafy, the next he's throwing Drax into the cockpit and crashing the ship into an asteroid field. It's fast, aggressive, and leans heavily into body horror. Then, in issue number 22, the symbiote bails on Groot and latches onto Rocket, and it only gets more chaotic. Rocket doesn't just get angry, he goes full Venom mode, holds the crew at gunpoint, screams at Groot, and demands control of the ship. The comic shows him with guns fused into his arms, exaggerated ears, and jagged spikes all over his back. He looks like Venom if he built himself out of spare grenades and unresolved trauma. Rocket's skin is labeled as being based on Guardians issue number 22, and visually, you can see the influence. But just like Groot, the devs took some liberties. The Sonic-style backspikes from the comic, gone. Most likely cut to make room for Rocket's in-game jetpack. His guns aren't fused to his arms like they are in the comic, which honestly feels like a missed opportunity. That would have been sick. The elbow spikes made the cut though, because if there's one consistent design rule in Marvel Rivals, it's add more spikes. The armor is more suit-like and streamlined, ditching the comic's messy organic texture. He's also got blue accents like Cap's symbiote skin, and some exaggerated features. Sharper ears and a flytrap-like mouth on his shoulders that look like it's about to eat his head off. So while it's not a one-to-one copy of the comic panel, it still captures that whole Rocket's lost it vibe perfectly. It's aggressive, tactical, and just weird enough to stand out. Now, Groot's in-game skin clearly draws from this story, but it's not a direct adaptation. First, it's worth noting that this is the only rare quality symbiote skin, so visually it's more restrained. The comic version was slender, creepy, and horror focused, while the in-game version goes for the chunkier silhouette, likely for gameplay clarity. The color palette also shifts. The comic was all black in harsh contrast. The in-game skin uses cool blue-purple tones for a stylized, more readable look. The leaf crown from the comic is still there in spirit, but now looks more like jagged bark than foliage. Interestingly, the in-game skin adds a detail not found in the comic. A Venus flytrap style mouth on his shoulder, giving the design a weird but welcome sense of danger, much like Rocket's skin. It's clearly a case of inspired by rather than recreated from, but the vibe still stands. Nature corrupted. Jeff's symbiote skin in Marvel Rivals is listed as debuting in Deadpool issue number 10, but visually, it's pulled straight from Venom War It's Jeff. That's where Jeff bonds with the symbiote, fights zombified Null monsters at Coney Island, and ends the day with churros. Peak Jeff. The MVP animation in-game is a direct reference to that comic moment. It's simple but effective. The skin was one of Jeff's most requested, and it's easy to see why. He's adorable, he's slightly unhinged, and now he's covered in sentient alien goo. It's a perfect match. Visually, the in-game skin keeps things clear and exaggerated, with a few stylistic touches to make it pop. Blue accents along the face and limbs help match the rival's art direction and add contrast to all the black. The back features white streaks of symbiote goop, stylized to give more motion and flair. Not present in the comic, but a strong addition. They also gave him what looks like a spiked collar, because apparently rivals can't help themselves when it comes to spikes. Overall silhouette, still very much Jeff. Round, deadly, and hug-sized. This isn't a hyper-detailed reinterpretation, and that's exactly why it works. It's faithful to the comic vibe while still feeling tailored to the game's style. More than anything, it's a callback to one of Jeff's best comic moments. And seeing him show up in a symbiote skin, chompy, grinning, and somehow more dangerous than the Rocket, just feels right. Jeff is and will always be the best boy, now with more teeth. If you thought Jeff in a goo hoodie was peak chaos, meet his polar opposite, the Thing, now symbiotified and pissed off. The skin is based on Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man issue number 304, where an alternate future version of Ben Grimm is forcibly bonded to a symbiote and turned into a full-on enforcer in a dystopian timeline. It's quick, brutal, and he looks like a sentient wrecking ball made of regret. Marvel Rivals didn't do a one-to-one recreation here. They gave him the usual upgrades. Gone are the metal shoulder pads. Instead, that's right, there's spikes. His tactical belt, missing. But they did slap a glowing blue Fantastic Four logo on him, so that's something. Oh, and he's got a bright blue tongue now, continuing the devs' apparent obsession with blue accents on every symbiote skin. They also added the white symbiote streaks from the rest of the set, and kept his head more blocky than the comic's Venom-esque design. It's not an exact match, but again, like the other ones, it doesn't need to be. It captures the vibe, which is corrupted, powerful, and absolutely not someone you want to see running directly at you. And honestly, I think this one is a little underrated. Squirrel Girl's symbiote skin in Marvel Rivals is listed as a reference to the unbeatable Squirrel Girl issue number 5. And yes, there is a moment where an alternate version of Doreen bonds with a symbiote. She brings it back from Battleworld, realizes that it's kind of evil, and in true Squirrel Girl fashion, politely tells it to leave. It's a blink and you miss it story beat, but it is canon. That said, the Marvel Rivals skin? Yeah, this thing looks nothing like that comic panel, and honestly it doesn't care. The devs clearly went full custom with this one, and it works. She's got massive puffy ears, a long stylized tail, and a giant fanged mouth growing out of that tail, because subtlety was never an option here. Her outfit is mostly white armored plating with blue symbiote accents streaking across the suit, continuing the design language we've seen in Cap, Rocket, and Jeff. There's no squirrel insignia like in the comic. Instead, we get spikes on her wrist because, again, Rivals loves spikes. And yes, Tippy Toe gets their own little symbiote form, still perched on her shoulder, but now tiny, toothy, and deeply cursed. It's weirdly adorable. So yeah, this isn't a recreation, it's a glow up. The comic moment was small, silly, and over in seconds. The in-game skin turns it into a full-blown symbiote transformation. Aggressive, playful, and totally in character for Doreen Green. Is it accurate? Not even a little. But is it awesome? Absolutely. Storm's symbiote skin in Marvel Rivals is officially tied to X-Men Prime issue number 1. But don't go flipping through the pages looking for her. The reference point is actually a variant cover, part of Marvel's Venomized campaign that imagined symbiote versions of popular heroes purely for cover art. That cover, it's wild. Spiked mohawk, jagged claws, massive venom grin, Storm as a pure force of chaos. But Marvel Rivals? They took the idea and completely reworked it. Hair down, flowing and dramatic, replacing the comic's sharp mohawk with a more elegant silhouette. No venom mouth this time, a smart omission for gameplay clarity. She wears white stylized armor like Cap and Rocket with blue symbiote streaks running across the suit. The black cloak is a new addition, not from the comic, but it gives her a regal, storm summoning vibe that fits her perfectly. Bonus detail, lightning bolt earrings, because Storm never forgets the accessories. So no, it's not a one-to-one recreation of the variant cover, but it doesn't need to be. It borrows the concept, dials back the chaos a little bit, and gives us a skin that still feels like Storm. Commanding, powerful, and dripping with style. So, out of 8 symbiote skins in Marvel Rivals, all of them reference real comic appearances, but only 3, Spider-Man, Captain America, and Jeff, stay close to the original comic designs. The others? They either reimagine the idea, pull from a brief moment, or take creative liberties to fit the game's art style and tone. But still, it's really impressive. For a game this early in its life, Marvel Rivals is already pulling from Secret Wars, Edge of Venomverse, Venom War, Guardians of the Galaxy, and yeah, even unbeatable Squirrel Girl. And we're probably not done. With Hela rocking a nullified skin, it's safe to assume that more are coming. Marvel is clearly willing to dig deep, even if it means throwing a symbiote on a land shark. Which symbiote skin is your favorite? And which character do you think deserves one next? If you're into Marvel Rivals skins with actual comic history behind them, then you are in the right place. I also broke down every Phoenix Force skin and its comic connections. That video is linked in the comments and description here as well. Thanks for watching, and if you like your cosmetics dripping with lore, I'll see you in the next one.